Today, I want to talk to you about something we don't hear enough about being relevant in your 70s. Yep, that's right. How relevant are we really? Now, I know everybody's situation is different. Some people are thriving in their 70s, living amazing full lives, and others are struggling. As for me, I'd say I'm somewhere in between. You see, last summer, I found myself lying in a chemo bed, and at 72 years old, I never thought I'd find myself there. But today I'm 73, and although it feels like a long time ago, when in reality it was only a few short months ago, between treatments and dealing with AFib episodes, my life has really slowed down. And if you know me, I don't slow down. I don't slow down at all. In fact, I don't even tolerate being sick very well. But let me tell you, chemotherapy doesn't really give you a choice, and neither does AFib. If you're not sure what AFib is, it's atrial fibrillation, where your heart chambers don't beat at the same rate and one side's going totally nuts trying to catch up to the other side. Instead of a nice normal rhythm, mine was up in the 190s when I ended up getting very sick. And we'll talk about that in a second. I picked up a nasty infection during chemotherapy called C. diff. And unfortunately, it's something that the hospitals are very good at sharing. What happened was I ended up having a small nasal infection that my oncologist gave me some antibiotics for. And the antibiotics unfortunately caused my guts to lose all the good bacteria and left all the bad behind. And the bad took over. I ended up in an ambulance for the first time in my life at 72 years old. Can you believe it? Unreal. And thank goodness my daughter Lana was there helping me because my wife Pam, well, she had a new hip replacement. And yes, I was the one who told her to go because I said to her, it's only chemotherapy. What can go wrong? Well, as you just heard, lots can go wrong. Over the coming weeks or the weeks following that last summer, I ended up taking several more ambulance rides. Even though the C. diff got under control, my whole system started to react very poorly to one of the drugs from the chemo. And it ended up, although I did finish chemo, it ended up costing me quite a bit. And that left a lot of uncertainty. My mind started asking questions. What does the future look like in my 70s? I'll be honest, the question is a little scary because something unexpected was happening. Instead of feeling like life was winding down, I started to realize just how meaningful this stage of life can be. I know it sounds a little bit strange, almost an oxymoron, the good and the bad and the ugly all at one time. But that's what I thought I would talk to you guys about today. Because if you're in your 70s or even heading there, your story is far from over. Let's get real. Aging does bring challenges. There's no point in pretending otherwise. Some people sail through their 70s and into their 80s, and I really admire that. I have some great friends in their 80s, and they just have had such a great life. And they're still having a great life. They don't slow down, they keep on trucking, and they're sharp as a tack. And that's amazing. I really hope I get there someday. But for many of us, our bodies remind us in a heck of a hurry, we're not as young as we once were. And I know you guys can relate to that because there's so many memes and jokes on Facebook about falling down and not getting up and all of that sort of stuff that we make fun of from time to time. But chemo was a big reminder for me, and AFib into the mix. It was a little crazy, and there were days that I just really felt uncertain. My energy was low, and I know I don't have to tell you if you've had chemo before or even just been really sick before with anything, your energy's the first thing to go when you're in your 70s. I lost a lot of muscle mass. I lost a lot of the ability to do things that I used to do very frequently and very easy, and I find myself sadly having these little naps during the day. And even though I know it's not a big deal, and I'm sure a lot of people have naps, I never used to. Again, a little kick in the pants here. If you've ever gone through any cancer treatment, you know exactly what I mean. And as I said earlier, even if you were just very ill, it doesn't have to be a cancer treatment to cause you to lose your energy. But here's the strange thing. Difficult moments, they have a way of showing us what really matters. Life feels like fragile and small things become incredibly important to you, like a quiet morning, good conversation, a walk outside, and of course, laughter. A laugh with someone you love. As for me, that someone is Pam, my wonderful wife. We've been together 52 years. Let that sink in for a second. 52 years. When you say it out loud, it just stops you in your tracks. It's wow, that's a lifetime. We raised a family together, we built a home together, and we've shared a lot of ups and downs over those 52 years, believe me, like every couple does. We're not perfect and we're far from it, but we always worked at staying together, not growing apart. When you go through something like illness, you really see the strength of that bond. Pam's been there every day with me through everything. And even the days that she couldn't come to the hospital to see me because of her brand new hip, we talked. We talked all the time. We, thank goodness for Messenger. We messenger like daily, lots back and forth. And also, we have two great kids, Lana and Chris, and they really step forward. Their care and their support, it really fills you with pride. And it makes you realize those years raising a family, they really matter. They come back to you as strength. Let me ask you something. What does age really give us? Because society sometimes suggests that once you hit 70s, well, your contributions are behind you. I don't honestly believe that even for a second. In fact, I think we have something incredibly valuable. We have perspective. That doesn't sound like very much, does it? But then when you think about it, we've lived through decades of changes. We've seen successes, disappointments, and we've learned, or some of us have learned, patience. And I'm going to say that laughingly because I'm not the most patient guy in the world, if you know me. I really like things to happen when they're supposed to happen. And I do like to put my foot down on the gas occasionally and get to where I want to go. But I have learned with that, if I'm stuck in traffic, I'm stuck in traffic. I don't have to get there as any particular timeline. I'm not working a 9 to 5er anymore. If you're retired, you're in the same boat. You get there when you get there. You also become more resilient. If things don't happen right away, that's okay. As I said, we're not on a 9 to 5 anymore if you're retired. If you're not retired, then yes, you do have to pay the piper and show up when you're supposed to show up and that sort of thing. But even still, in your 70s, if you're still working, you're probably doing something that you really want to do and you're interested in. My big mantra on this whole thing, or my big motto, I should say, is do what makes you happy. For me, that means creating. And I create in different ways. I love making YouTube videos. And if you told me 3 years ago I'd be doing this, I don't think so. I would have just argued with you that it's not for me. I didn't really understand how to make a video in the first place because it was nothing that I was ever doing as part of my life. Making videos was nothing that I was really overly interested in until I started seeing some older folks in their 70s or in their 60s or just retired started taking up the art of making videos because they had a lot more to say. I would have said not a chance. But here we are, and I love it. I love connecting with people and hearing your stories too, and sharing ideas. And when I was younger, this would not have been possible because we didn't have the internet, as you know, and we had no way of doing a video. And even if we did a home video using a Super 8 millimeter, that was just really a private thing for families. Today, people want to share, and people really care about each other more than they used to. Age doesn't close that door at all. Sometimes it actually opens doors for you. If you're watching this and in your 70s or getting close to it, I just want to say this directly to you. This stage of life can be incredibly rich. It might look different for each one of us, and there's still lots of challenges. I'm not trying to say that life is just a walk in the park, because obviously it's not. But the way I look at it is your story is not finished, just like mine isn't finished. You've got a lot of wisdom and you've got a lot of experiences to share with people, whether it's family, grandkids, friends, it doesn't matter. You still have lots of moments ahead of you and maybe even some new adventures. Who knows? The later chapters are the most meaningful ones, though, and going through illness taught me something powerful. None of us knows how much time we have. I know that's a bit of cliche, but it's true. We don't. And instead of making life seem smaller, that truth can actually make life a lot richer for us. At 73, I'm still learning. My goodness, yes, with so much out there to talk about and deal with, from everything from AI to being scammed constantly, or people trying to scam you constantly. But here I am, I'm still creating. I took up the fine art of art, and I absolutely love my studio. I love putting out paintings, and I love it when my friends enjoy the pieces that I do. I'm a little shameless there. I did a lot of my videos using my art as my background, but today I thought, no, we're going to do something just plain raw. I'm in my studio and trying to make it look as decent as possible, but still a little bit on the junky side, because you can't be an artist and be a neat freak at the same time. You can be neater, but that's a whole other topic. If there's one thing I do want to leave you guys with today, it's this: your life doesn't lose its value. Just because you've had more birthdays, your voice still matters, and your experience matters, and your future still holds something meaningful for you. At 73, I know my story is not finished. If you're in your 70s too, you can certainly take the same attitude. Yours isn't finished either. If you like, I'd love to hear your stories and hear your comments on how you feel being 70 or coming up to 70 is affecting you. It doesn't matter how many birthdays you've had, the future still waits for us. And my friends, that is how I'm feeling today. If you've enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate a like and a subscribe. Come along for the journey. It's going to be interesting. Ciao for now. I'm Glen, and this is my Hangout. Have a great day, everyone.